Hey everyone, it's Tiffany again. I thought I would do a video about what I'm packing to bring to the hospital because this is definitely a different experience than my first with Leilani. I think I brought like a medium-sized suitcase along with like a pregnancy ball and everything else I could ever imagine. It looked like I was moving into the hospital. But with Leilani's labor, it's also a super different situation. I did the Bradley method, so I did an unmedicated vaginal birth, and I actually labored at home until I was 9 centimeters. We didn't know I was 9 centimeters until we went in, but we went in because my pregnancy, the labor had pretty much stalled, so I knew something was up, and so I was at the hospital for another, I don't even know how many hours. I was pushing for 3. And so in all, it was a little over 24-hour labor. And it was the most intense, crazy thing I've ever experienced. I knew it was going to be rough, but it was whole other level. But this is going to be very different because with the baby's heart issues, I don't know if she can even handle an unmedicated birth. We don't know if I will even go into labor spontaneously because she is smaller, so there's not as much weight being put on my cervix to initiate labor. We don't know how her heart's going to respond, so we may end up in like a C-section situation. We just don't know. So it's a lot of playing it by ear. So really my hospital bag is like a tiny little bag with just a few things that I know I'm going to need, and then I will kind of go from there. It's mainly just stuff for her. Because I'm anticipating some type of time in the NICU. So some of the things like I got for her, she's 5.5 pounds now, so I got some different things that are going to work for a baby who would be staying in a NICU and has tubes and things. So stuff with like snaps, so that tubes can be kind of laced in and out, was something that was recommended to me by other moms. And lots of hats, anything to keep her warm. Tons of hats, mittens, socks, because the first few days they will not be wearing any clothes at all. Here's some bottoms because they most likely won't have tubes on the bottom, just on the top. And then some onesies, same thing. They have these special things here where you can completely undo it so that tubes could be wrapped out so she still could be dressed. And the other issue is if they're doing MRIs and stuff like that, which they will be, all of the clothing will have to be removed if there's metal on it. So I tried to find stuff that wasn't all metal, but it's actually pretty hard. So another good thing to get for that is Velcro. And those are kind of hard to come by. But if you do find them, that's a great alternative if you're going to be in the NICU. So lots of cool hats, cute little onesies with socks. Again, all open closure type stuff so that the tubes can go in and out of there. And then in terms of keeping her warm, I only had a couple swaddles from when Leilani was a baby, so I had to really get a bunch of extra ones because I knew she was going to need them. And because of that, I decided to try a bunch of new ones. There's a lot of new companies out. And with her skin being a little bit younger, well, even before I thought she was going to be really young, she's going to be a little bit better now, but I tried to get stuff that was super soft for sensitive skin because especially if your baby is born before in 37 weeks, which was initially the concern, you don't want rough fabrics on there. Their skin will get really irritated. So I found a couple, like I have some muslin swaddles, but they need to be washed a few more. They're still kind of rough. So I have a couple of those. And then I got some Aiden and Niece brand, which I don't know if everyone's seen. You can probably see the logo right there. And these are super soft. They're muslin, but I think they also have some other stuff in them too. Yeah, they're bamboo, these ones. These are the super soft bamboo ones. And the more you wash them, the softer they get. And then I also tried a new brand called Copper Pearl. They're kind of known for their bibs, which I had used on Leilani, because their bibs have felt on the back of it. So that's really soft on their chest. And then they're an absorbent cotton, and she loved them. They were great for her. So I got a couple of those with the swaddle and the hat, because I figured that's mainly what she'll be wearing, is just being swaddled and keep her head warm. And 2 more copper pearls. And then the other brand I decided to try because I got served an Instagram or Facebook ad, because those things really do work, guys, is a brand called Lulu. I don't know if you can see right there, but they're pretty new. But their stuff is so soft, so soft. I think it's, let's see, is it a cotton blend? It's a rayon spandex blend. So because of that, it doesn't have any of the scratchiness. And so I thought these would be really awesome for her. So there's a couple hats that go with it too. And then I also got, trying to think about keepsakes and different things I would want to do for her. So I have a list of things that the hospital will collect for me, or my doula will collect. But there was a couple things on there that I thought would be kind of cool to do. And so, and I didn't do this with Leilani, I should have. But it's a, I don't know if you can see, but it's basically a baby handprint footprint type thing. So it comes with clay, and I got it on Amazon. And you kind of mold out the clay, and then you can put her feet and hands in it. And it comes with a really nice like glass frame, so I can have something to remember her in case this doesn't go exactly how I want it to. But you know, you could put like one of her ultrasound photos, and I have the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep organization, which if you haven't heard about that, they are photographers who donate their time to people who have babies who are going to be passing away or medically fragile, just like this situation. And you just call their organization, and based on where you live, they will sync you up with a photographer to help you. So that's super awesome. So I have that set up for here in the Valley and in San Antonio, depending on where we will be. So any photos that they take, that could be something I could put into. And they specialize in infant or newborn deaths as well. So they're super compassionate and know how to handle that situation. And will take photos and everything, so you have something to remember. Some other things I have in there is this book from one of my good friends, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. It's just some stuff, you know, some different verses and things from the Bible, things that I know I'm going to have some tough moments, and so I think it'll just be a quick grab for me to read and kind of get my spirits back up. And I also have a diffuser, and I put in some oils too, which I have. I'm thinking that I'm just trying, I don't do well in hospitals to begin with my mother's death a few years ago, and watching that whole thing in the ICU and her being resuscitated and pass away again. It was just really traumatic, and so that kind of sticks in my head. And when we finally got to the hospital with Leilani, I started freaking out. So for me, I know I'm going to have to anticipate that. So I'm trying to think of different things I can do to try and calm myself, because when you're freaking out, your labor starts to freak out. So, and I need things to keep moving. So some of the other things I put in, mother's milk tea, which if you haven't used, it's great to use. It helped me bring my milk in last time. But I was also nursing Leilani up until she was 19 months, so a couple months ago. So I'm hoping that my milk will just come right back in. I actually think I still have some. So it should be an easier process, which will be amazing. And then I also have my breast friend pillow in case she's able to nurse. But the likelihood is that she will have to do a feeding tube. She hasn't been swallowing the amniotic fluid as good as she should, which is why I have polyhydramnios, the excess amniotic fluid. So we will have to adjust and just kind of see what's going to happen with her. And then for me, I just have the typical stuff, you know, phone chargers and shower stuff and loose clothing. I did get some Blanky leggings, the postpartum leggings. I have the compression, but they're meant for postpartum. So I'm going to try those out. Those are coming tomorrow. And hopefully that will help a little bit, along with I do some binding on my stomach. If I don't have a C-section, I should be able to do that. And then we will just be waiting to see what happens. You can see Smokey in the background. He's hanging out. But if there's anything else that you guys think I should be bringing for this kind of situation, especially I know my trisomy and medical moms, you guys know this stuff way better than I do. So if anyone has any recommendations, let me know. I'm just starting to pack up the rest of the stuff, and I need to get Leilani packed. and the pets, and it is almost time. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.